What up, Tej?
What's up?
Today, we're talking about the vertical bias of rotation. Let's hop into it. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. You texted me about this one.
I did. The reason for this is a better understanding of rotation and the direction it's moving.
Okay.
And it moves vertical always.
Rotation moves vertical.
There's a vertical bias to rotation.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Okay, so what I am describing here, and we talk about this quite often, is the spiral line.
Right.
So if we're just following the spiral line, and we start from let's just neglect the lower half from right now. So
upper spiral.
Upper spiral. So
Okay.
from my belt line up.
Got it.
TJ's spiral will start right here.
Yep.
Okay, there's another one over there, obviously.
Yep.
But for right here, it starts right here on this hip complex. The outer side of the hip complex goes across his abdomen, underneath the armpit, under the armpit, over the scap, and up, like right underneath his skull.
Got it.
And hence, spiral.
It goes up.
It goes up.
Okay.
Okay. And it's not, you could go, well, obviously it goes, you could follow it down and run that highway.
Sure.
And you could do that highway so it could go, no, it
Yeah.
doesn't go down.
No. Why doesn't it go down?
Because when we're turning, either direction,
Yes.
so if I'm going to my backswing or if I'm going to my forward swing,
Yeah.
it is always from the top that is looking to work away from the lower half. So in essence, like right up here underneath my skull
Yes.
is the start of the spiral line.
Yes.
So if I'm loading a spiral line, just like I would load a rubber band, it extends and stretches. So from this point to this point is elongating. Okay, this is the very most upper portion of the spiral line.
Yeah.
So if we're talking here, okay, going down over the scap, under the armpit, and then across to TJ's
I
neighbor.
see. So it's like down to the scap, then across to the lead hip.
Yes.
Okay. So what you're doing is you're elongating
Yes.
from that lead hip essentially to that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So even like if I'm walking, so if I wanted to pull this left leg at the camera,
Okay.
I would really pull from my head. Like see how my head's like going, it's moving in this shape.
Yeah.
So I've got some amount of lead side bend, lateral bend in the C-spine that has worked up, and it's pulling up in this fashion here.
Yeah.
See that C-spine all the way down the scap, and it's really easy to see it from the armpit across the abdomen to this hip, this shape.
That'll expand, right?
Yes, you see it elongates.
Sure.
This distance gets further away, or this distance is elongated because this point gets further away from this point.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay. So if I do that in gait pattern even, it's this way to pull this forward to land, and then I'd go the opposite way.
Right. You see like really good sprinters, like that's their.
Yeah,
their gait
exactly.
pattern,
See
right?
all that stuff in the lower half.
Yep.
We've talked a lot about that. But the fact is, if the uppermost spiral line is the initiator of movement and the initiator of rotation,
Yeah. Yeah. There's
it
the
moves me
elongation.
away.
Yeah. If it's going to elongate, it's going to move you away. Right?
Yes.
Because it's not like the spiral. Wouldn't be a spiral if it was just
Yeah.
straight across this
You'd
way.
just be going this way like a top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you look at that and you're like, that's not a good movement.
Nuh-uh.
You look at this and you're like, oh, that guy looks better
Yeah.
than
he
this
does.
guy.
He does. Yeah.
Okay, so if that happens, so in essence, we've got this vertical look to the rotation.
Okay.
It causes extension.
Sure. Yeah.
Extension is a great thing.
Gosh, I'm so glad we're covering this. Because so many students message me. They're like, why can't I stop extending? I'm like, you're supposed to.
You are supposed to.
Like,
And by the way, you're supposed to extend. Here's where you can extend. You can extend from P1. Okay, so position 1 is address, all the way really to about P3. And the extension is because this distance, I'm pulling here. This distance is elongating. See how my pelvis isn't really doing much yet? But then as I keep pressuring that and pulling it, it is going to pull on this hip complex.
oh yeah, I feel it.
There it goes. And so this is working into an extension state.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm not saying that we look like this and it's just like artificial, like, right? No, it's because the upper spiral demands
Some
that
extension.
it gets pulled on,
Yeah.
right? That also extends the spine to some degree.
Yep.
It's all a
Expands it.
response.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can extend from P1 to P3.
Okay.
And you can extend from P4 to P infinity. The space to drop
Yeah.
is P3 to P4.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's our dropped, right? And again, we talk about this a ton. The pelvis doesn't, like, it's not in command of rotation. We talk about it from time to time and understanding pivots, and
Oh yeah.
of course there's rotation in it, but we're seeing the spiral line create that rotation for the most part. And we got to
Right.
bounce back and forth between spirals and da-da-da-da. That's in a lot of our transitionary
Which
videos.
is why the spiral line is such a beautiful model, because it's got both rotation and extension in it.
Yes.
And if you just follow that model, you're going to knock two birds out with one stone.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So we're not rotating the pelvis and extending.
Exactly.
Like, it's
Exactly. There
spiral
you go.
movement, right?
Yep. So if we just did this, Tej, why don't we, let's do a 3-part swing.
Okay.
And you are going to allow your pelvis to extend. It's not an active move, it's a passive move, but you're not trying to trap it down at all.
Okay.
From P1 to P3, we're going to use the upper spiral to work in a vertical manner. So even your hat level should heighten. There you go. Good. And P3 would be right in there.
Got it.
Okay. Now from here, let's let the lead arm continue to lift, and you're going to drop as you do that. There you go. So now you've dropped in. Now from here, brother, this spiral line is going to pull you in a vertical manner. Look at that trail hip start to extend appropriately. It's appropriate
It's
extension.
going to extend. Yeah.
Through the strike, everybody that's worth a damn is extending. So people have this like poor conception of early extension,
They do.
that they just forget the word early and just say extension is bad.
Yeah.
So early extension is just from P3 to P4, we're actively rotating the pelvis, which causes the extension. From P3 to P4, yeah, there you go. P3
Instead
to
of just
P4, we're just
dropping.
dropping. There you go. But now from there, we're extending. There, exactly. And it's, everybody feels this differently. Like for sure, some players that are like massive extenders will feel as if they stay dropped in, but they're actually not.
100%.
If they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're never gonna see this like drop and then somebody stays in this flexion state all the way through the strike. This is ridiculous.
No.
It's the same amount of flexion that I had in drop.
I see some students that maybe have that interpretation.
Yep.
And that messes with them, dude. They can't get the ball in the air anymore.
Can't get the ball in the air. They
Yeah.
can't. They have no room through the strike
No.
to unload it.
No.
Plus, like this is just a really nice way to see how the center of mass of the club and my center of mass should coexist
Yeah.
and marry.
Yeah.
Like early, my center of mass is heightening, and I'm trying to get the center of mass going away from me. They worked in opposition there. They went here.
Oh, interesting.
Now from here, the golf club's going to work up and away. Well, guess where I'm going? So it's going here, and I'm dropping back the other side. But now, don't we teach with the tool through the hit? Don't we want the energy to shoot out this way? So where do I have to go to counter that?
Away from it.
This has to work up and away this way to be able to give
Absolutely.
room for that to happen. And we see that out of every single high-level golf swing.
Yeah.
So the whole look of rotation is vertical. It's here. I've
Yeah.
rotated, right? Now, like eventually the golf club's going to get up here to about 3.
Yeah.
And now I'm dropping as the golf club finishes.
Uh-huh.
There's my flexion state.
There you go.
But now from here, up, 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 up as the golf club shoots out.
Yeah, cool.
You see that in everybody,
Yeah,
right?
you do. You do. You have to have that. Yeah.
In high-level players, yes. So it's just the description of this. Is rotation is always in a vertical direction. So
Okay.
let's overdo this to really show this.
Okay.
So go ahead and set up to it.
I can overdo things.
Yeah, baby, let's do it. And here's a very easy way to sense this. This shoulder complex, I want you to move it as far away as you can through the spiral line, away from this lead foot.
Okay.
Let's do that again. There we go. So see how high this got. Almost
Yep.
feels like you heighten, so your hat, there you go. Do that again, just to 3. Good. Now show 3 to 4. Good. Now we're gonna smoothly chip this, but this is gonna work up, away, and your hat's gonna heighten to hit. So
Gonna
show
do
to,
kind of a 3-piecer.
yep, 3-piecer. Show to 3. Show to 4. Show to finish. Beautiful. See how easy the golf club, like it has to shoot. It has to shoot out.
It gives me a reason to shoot it out because I'm going away.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So this look is almost like when we're looking at just shoulder complex, this shoulder complex should not lower early in the backswing. It should stay high, and the trail shoulder should work away. There we go. That gives you room to drop at 4. And then we'd have the same thing once we're dropped into 4. The right shoulder isn't lowering to get into the strike. The lead shoulder is heightening. See the difference in like what my legs look like? Now I have appropriate extension, not because I'm jumping.
So a lot of people mess that one up when they're trying to like shallow, is they're like, my right shoulder needs to go down.
Now you're whack.
Now I'm whacked.
Now it's an unhealthy pattern. You got all these problems, right? You can't control the bottom end, can't control the face. So we're here, dropped in.
Yep.
Here's the heightening. But as soon as this heightens, guess what I can do with the club?
Shoot it out.
Exactly.
Let it go.
That's also not a cast.
No, it's just a release.
Casting is an optical illusion. It's an optical illusion. The golf club is here.
Yeah.
If I internally rotate this and lower it, it looks like I just threw the golf club away. Because right here, it doesn't look like from the camera angle. This is 90 degrees of shaft load.
Yeah.
If I lower this, it's still 90 degrees of shaft load, but it looks like from a face-on perspective that that's a cast.
Sure.
Whereas if I'm here and this internally rotates some, this looks like I've lagged it. Right? All that we're doing in this transitionary phase is dropping, and the golf club does work in here. But from here, dude, every single dang player that's worth a darn is unloading the golf club as they're turning. This does not look like a cast. It goes. Because you're creating the space because of the spiral line through the strike, giving yourself a reason to extend, which you need to do through the strike. Appropriate extension is because the upper spiral is demanding that. And all that leaves room for the golf club to unload. You shoot the center of mass out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, now let's see 2-piece. So we'll go through 3 to 4, if that makes sense. So 1 to 4 and one move. Good. Beautiful. It's so much easier to unload the golf club too.
Absolutely.
It just shoots. Okay, now let's see from 1 to finish.
Okay.
There's a vertical move immediately because of rotation and because of the spiral line. You'll drop an appropriate amount, but then we're back to vertical from the start of the forward swing onward.
Got it.
Look how easy the club shot.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point of this and why I was excited for this like little short video is it is like we're not level in rotation. You don't need to fight more side bend.
Sure.
You just need to understand that as you're rotating, you should be going vertical. And just that matchup is like, okay, if I'm here and as soon as I rotate, so it's not like I rotate and then, I'm just turning and working vertical. That's the look. I'm rotating here. This is away. See how this trail shoulder is worked away from the lead? Now I can drop. That's the same thing here. Lead shoulder away from the trail. I'm rotating, I'm working vertical, and I would just keep working through there all the way to finish. It's seamless.
Yes.
There is a vertical nature to rotation. Don't stay freaking dropped in. You don't need to stay dropped in for that long.
No, you don't.
In actuality.
In actuality. Yeah.
Yes.
Some people may feel that, but no.
Exactly. Verticals, baby.
Verticals.
Let's go.